Beauty is about being comfortable in your own skin. It's about knowing and accepting who you are. Almost anyone can be an author. The business is to collect money and fame from this state of being. Make life easier by living in the present and believing in the future. When we least expect it, a new door opens on its own to take us where we belong. There is no fate which cannot be surmounted by scorn. The spirit of a man is constructed out of his choices. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives.
Knowledge is responsibility, which is why people resist knowledge. Even in the loneliest moments, I have been there for myself.
Dream your dream and realize that you are more than just the dreamer. You are the point of origin for its reality. When you came, you cried, and everybody smiled with joy. When you go, smile and let the world cry for you. I woke up incredibly grateful today. I'm allowing myself to bask in this feeling.
If everyone wants to be somebody, I want to be somebody else. All is mystery, but he is a slave who will not struggle to penetrate the dark veil.
It's strange how dreams get under your skin and give your heart a test for what's real and what's imaginary. Listen with curiosity, speak with honesty, act with integrity. You don't win races by wishing, you win them by running faster than everyone else does.
If you want to lead them, you must place yourself behind them.
It's a rare gift to know where you need to be, before you've been to all the places you don't need to be.
Reason may be employed to support faith, as well as to destroy it. As for methods of prayer, all are good, as long as they are sincere. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent.
We are seeds as well as parasites to the earth. We can either give or take, depending on our perception of growth. One day can change your life, one day can ruin your life. All life is 3 or 4 big days that change everything. Person is wise if he listens to millions of advice and doesn't implement any of it. Things come apart so easily when they have been held together with lies. Making time to experience joy is the single most important thing you can do to heal your heart.
Whatever is going to happen will happen, whether we worry or not.
It takes as much courage to have tried and failed as it does to have tried and succeeded.
The smallest light has greater power than the largest darkness.
Do not look for happiness outside yourself. The awakened seek happiness inside. Thought is so cunning, so clever, that it distorts everything for its own convenience. You have to realize that you are everything and more, just on your own. Education is what they equip you with, just in case your dream doesn't work out. I'm killing time while I wait for life to shower me with meaning and happiness. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. We live in a dark and romantic and quite tragic world. Time strides so uneven, some days endless, and others like the blink of an eye.
Stop blaming outside circumstances for your inside chaos. In order to form an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must, above all, be a sheep.
The universe may not always play fair, but at least it's got a hell of a sense of humor.
They don't actually want you to do your own thing, not unless it's their thing too. Let your mind wander in the pure and simple. Be one with the infinite. Let all things take their course.
Upon my word, I think the truth is the hardest missile one can be pelted with. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. Success is what happens after you've survived all your mistakes. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. My experiences have taught me that things rarely improve with a simple change of scenery. Remember how far you've come, and you won't have to rely on a destiny for your future. It will come on your own.
Changing is what people do when they have no options left.
I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world.
The truth is the kindest thing we can give folks in the end. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. Therefore, the good fighter will be terrible in his onset and prompt in his decision.
Life is something that happens when you can't get to sleep. Don't give up. You are closer than you think.
The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence.
Most people don't care, and some secretly want you to fail.
At the heart of nature's mystery lies another mystery.
Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend. It is never too late to be what you might have been. Never apologize for showing your feelings. When you do, you are apologizing for the truth. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Life is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Our worlds are an AI rendering of our input. Be curious, travel, and elpore to create a better world. In truth, Freud sees nothing and understands nothing.
To succeed in life, you need three things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone.
Never tolerate disrespect, not even from yourself. A smart person knows how to talk. A wise person knows when to be silent. If you're going to burn a bridge behind you, make sure you've crossed it first. The truth may be out there, but the lies are inside your head. Sometimes being happy takes effort. Invest time and energy in yourself and your happiness. The only way to survive eternity is to be able to appreciate each moment. Life gives us choices. You either grab on with both hands and just go for it, or you sit on the sideline.
Never say anything about yourself you don't want to come true. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Truth is something believed in heart. Fact is, anything happened in realities.
Being true to yourself is the greatest force to uncover the soul. Receive with simplicity everything that happens to you. The better organized the state, the duller its humanity.
Change may not always bring growth, but there is no growth without change. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it can. And just when you think it can't get any better, it can.
Don't let the fear of losing them keep you from loving them.
Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Success is a state of mind. If you want success, start thinking of yourself as a success. The irony of life is that those who wear masks often tell us more truths than those with open faces.
For a word to be spoken, there must be silence, before and after. There are two ways of spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it.
The shortness of life, so often lamented, may be the best thing about it.
Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone.
Anyone who isn't embarrassed of who they were last year probably isn't learning enough. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what this storm's all about. Don't worry about the challenges. Get excited about the rewards of crushing them. Thoughts without content are empty. Intuitions without concepts are blind. Believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. The thing about a spiral is if you follow it inward, it never actually ends. It just keeps tightening. Infinite. I am still in the land of the dying. I shall be in the land of the living soon. I had to learn to live without you. And I couldn't make sense of it, because I left so much of me inside of you. We should be humble in our approach, but should not grumble towards life. The reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept.
Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character.
Never let your past mistakes cause you to doubt your future. When I explored my deeper mind, I could understand that my life is only an illusion, an apparent reality. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. Don't plan or make a financial decision that is dependent on another person without letting them know first.
Faced with what is right, to leave it undone shows a lack of courage.
The height of strategy is to attack your opponent's strategy. Any war that requires the suspension of reason as a necessity for support is a bad war. There are no traffic jams along the extra mile. The prettiest flowers are in their honor in the ugliest dirt. Anger exceeding limits causes fear, and excessive kindness eliminates respect.
We don't have to defeat any individual but our own self.
Think continually about what you want, not about the things you fear. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. Most of us have the good or bad fortune of seeing our lives fall apart so slowly we barely notice.
Some things you hear with your ears, others you hear with your heart.
The biggest mistake we could ever make in our lives is to think we work for anybody but ourselves. The only true borders lie between day and night, between life and death, between hope and loss. Ruin is a gift. Ruin is the road to transformation.
Hence the saying, the enlightened ruler lays his plans well ahead. The good general cultivates his resources.
Alive or dead, the truth won't rest. Rise up while you can. Man is the only creature who refuses to be what he is.
There's so much to be grateful for. Words are poor things.
To be the best, you must be able to handle the worst. When life places stones in your path, be the water. A persistent drop of water will wear away even the hardest stone. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. We choose our joys and sorrows long before we experience them. We follow the codes not because they bring gain, but because we loathe the people we would otherwise become. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. It's a lie to think you're not good enough. It's a lie to think you're not worth anything. Even as a solid rock is unshaken by the wind, so are the wise unshaken by praise or blame. One thing I've learned in life is that the more quiet you are, the less attention you will get from invaluable people. Everyone's time is limited. What matters most is to focus on what matters most. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. Go on with what your heart tells you, or you will lose all.
You can change your mind. Don't let your mind change you. We are willing to believe anything other than the truth. What we can change is our perceptions. which have the effect of changing everything.
Until we can receive with an open heart, we are never really giving with an open heart.
Next to trying and winning, the best thing is trying and failing. Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it.
Despite its dark veins, the transparency of dragonflies' wings assures me of a pure, innocent world.
Truth is as straight as an arrow, while a lie swivels like a snake. For every expert, there is an equal and opposite expert. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley.
You look ridiculous if you dance. You look ridiculous if you don't dance, so you might as well dance. I think of life as a good book. The further you get into it, the more it begins to make sense. To succeed, you must reach for the stars and let your imagination find its own path. The certainty about the uncertain is that it will remain uncertain till the time it's certain. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control.
Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon or star.
For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. What you perceive as a failure today may actually be a crucial step towards the success you seek. Never give up. It frightens me, the awful truth of how sweet life can be. No one is going to figure out your life. It's your responsibility. I've often mused over the idea that madness is actually a sane reaction to an insane world. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe.
I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist, and right. I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains.
If what you seek is truth, there's one thing you must have above all else. People at war with themselves will always cause collateral damage in the lives of those around them. I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. If you haven't the strength to impose your own terms upon life, then you must accept the terms it offers you. Time is my friend when it doesn't let the bad moments stay, but it becomes my enemy when it lets the good moments pass by.
Keep working hard, and you can get anything that you want.
Anyone can hide. Facing up to things, working through them, that's what makes you strong. The moment you stop trying to become a better person is the moment you start to become worse than what you already are.
Maybe some things aren't meant to be known. Maybe they're just meant to be accepted.
The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. There is a wisdom of the head and there is a wisdom of the heart. Don't let your luggage define your travels. Each life unravels differently. Life is half delicious yogurt, half crap, and your job is to keep the plastic spoon in the yogurt. All the papers that matter live off their advertisements, and the advertisers exercise an indirect censorship over news. Be not angry that you cannot make others as you wish them to be, since you cannot make yourself as you wish to be. If you give up what you want most for what you think you should want more, you'll end up miserable. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. That is the nature of living creatures. We cannot be sure of having something to live for, unless we are willing to die for it. This body is fragile. It is just flesh. Listen to the heartbeat. Life depends on the pumping of a muscle.
No matter how good you get, You can always get better, and that's the exciting part.
Possibilities are endless as long as you don't limit yourself. Haters keep on hating because somebody's got to do it. These inspired futures hold futuristic inspirations. The sharpest minds often ruin their lives by overthinking the next step, while the dull win the race with eyes closed. I try to avoid looking forward or backward, and try to keep looking upward. In the face of adversity, we have a choice. We can be bitter, or we can be better. Those words are my North Star. The reason birds can fly and we can't is simply because they have perfect faith. For to have faith is to have wings.
I don't think there's anything wrong with telling the truth. I know it isn't fashionable. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you will ever have.
No matter how slow you go, you are still lapping everybody on the couch. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds. Accidents don't happen to people who take accidents as a personal insult. It is your responsibility to find fault with me. It is mine to hear you out. But don't expect me to change. People who do not understand your silence will never understand your words. The nobler sort of man emphasizes the good qualities in others and does not accentuate the bad. The inferior does. We remember the past, live in the present, and write the future. When men are pure, laws are useless. When men are corrupt, laws are broken. Fear tends to come from ignorance. Once I knew what the problem was, it was just a problem. Nothing to fear.
Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles.
Above all else, guard your heart, for it affects everything else you do.
It's faith in something and enthusiasm for something that makes a life worth living.
Little risks brings little success. Great risks brings forth great success. Anything can be done as long as you truly believe it. Sometimes small things can become very large indeed. Success seems to be largely a matter of hanging on after others have let go. There's nothing more embarrassing than to have earned the disfavor of a perceptive animal. Knowledge, like air, is vital to life. Like air, no one should be denied it.
Watching my back is the perfect opportunity to stick a knife in it.
Every time you help someone to achieve success, you become more successful. Always help to lift the burdens of others. Sometimes problems don't require a solution to solve them. Instead, they require maturity to outgrow them. If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never meet the right people. The life of the enemy. Whoever lives for the sake of combating an enemy has an interest in the enemy's staying alive. The art of giving orders is not to try to rectify the minor blunders and not be swayed by petty doubts. My feelings are too loud for words and too shy for the world. For the first time in a long time, I want more than I have. Life is what happens to us while we are making other plans.
Fear can only grow in darkness. Once you face fear with light, you win.
If you have joy in your heart, even the most mundane moments will become extraordinary. Now and then it's good to pause in our pursuit of happiness and just be happy.
I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet.
I want words at my funeral, but I guess that means you need life in your life.
I've never had anyone's approval, so I've learned to live without it.
The only true failure is allowing fear of failure to prevent you from acting and pursuing your dreams. We are saved by faith alone, but the faith that saves is never alone.
We are all worms, but I do believe that I am a glowworm.
Those who count things are not worthy of assisting the people.
The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination.
I wonder how many people don't get the one they want, but end up with the one they're supposed to be with. Strange, I thought, how you can be living your dreams and your nightmares at the very same time. Once in a while it really hits people that they don't have to experience the world in the way they have been told to. I will be able to forecast which side will be victorious and which defeated. Seek only light and freedom, and do not immerse yourself too deeply in the worldly mire. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Integrity is doing what is right and truthful, and doing as you say you would do. It used to be about trying to do something. Now it's about trying to be someone. You start by writing to live. You end by writing so as not to die. Give up to grace. The ocean takes care of each wave till it gets to shore. You need more help than you know. Like all dreamers, I confuse disenchantment with truth.
Show me that I am everywhere, and get me home for tea.
I have never seen or heard of such a fish, but I must kill him. I am glad we do not have to try to kill the stars. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried.
It's often only in the lies we refuse to speak that any truth can be heard at all.
Liberty without learning is always in peril, and learning without liberty is always in vain.
Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy and is not moved by him.
An intelligent man is one who acknowledges his intelligence as that of those who surround him. Quietly endure, silently suffer, and patiently wait. The secret of life, though, is to fall 7 times and to get up 8 times. If we admit that human life can be ruled by reason, then all possibility of life is destroyed. It's against the rules of humanity to believe there is nothing we can do.
The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. I believe in looking reality straight in the eye and denying it. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust.
We can know only that we know nothing, and that is the highest degree of human wisdom. When a thing is funny, search it carefully for a hidden truth. The best fiction is far more true than any journalism.
Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Amid the turmoil and tumult of battle, there may be seeming disorder, and yet no real disorder at all.
A hero is just somebody who does the right thing when it would be far, far easier to do nothing.
Only courageous hearts can endure the bitterness of truth. Do good, live in the most positive and joyful way possible every day. You will find the key to success under the alarm clock.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. If you have the guts to be yourself, other people will pay your price. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference.
Bitter though it may be to many, Cadfael concluded, there is no substitute for truth, in this or any case. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much.
Create your own miracles. Do what you think you cannot do. If your life is worth thinking about, it is worth writing about.
An unbreakable mask and cunning are the keys for executing a plan flawlessly.
Convictions are more dangerous foes of truth than lies. In my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it dazzled me.
Never stop dreaming, never stop believing, never give up, never stop trying, and never stop learning. You were given life. It is your duty to find something beautiful within life, no matter how slight. Help others without any reason, and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return.
Without subtle ingenuity of mind, one cannot make certain of the truth of their reports.
Paradoxically, though it may seem, it is nonetheless true that life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Being realistic is the quickest path to mediocrity.
I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world.
You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft, you will die without ever realizing your true potential. As long as your ideas of what's possible are limited by what's actual, no other idea has a chance.
There is no doubt fiction makes a better job of the truth.
Inspiration is sometimes as simple as a shared smile.
No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. I wouldn't have missed a single minute of it, not for the whole world.
Faith is not like a raincoat, only to be worn on drizzly days. You can't always judge people by the things they've done. You gotta judge them by what they are doing now.
Communism is the final logic of the dehumanization of man.
If you don't care for obscenity, you don't care for the truth. If you don't care for the truth, watch how you vote. Don't believe what your eyes are telling you. All they show is limitation. Look with your understanding. We spend money that we do not have on things we do not need to impress people who do not care. Definitions are the guardians of rationality, the first line of defense against the chaos of mental disintegration. You only get one life. Live it to the fullest. All your miseries will be forgiven when you will be dead. People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize.
In the end, you should always do the right thing, even if it's hard.
You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it.
Keep their friends close and their enemies closer. I is for integrity. Be honest with yourself and others.